you want to have a quick role play of it, like a really brief one? Do you want me to role play the role of a client or the role of a coach? Of course. All right. Can I just have a volunteer just do it quickly? Can I borrow you then? Come on up. Just slow down a little bit. We'll do this very quickly. Can I do this like a 2-minute version of it? Because otherwise we'll go forever. Okay. So I'm going to play the client first. I'm going to choose something which is of importance to me, which would be hypnotherapy. I like teaching people hypnotherapy and doing so. So I'm going to tell my coach, okay, Eric, I don't know what your profession normally is, but this is going to be therapy. I'm going to be a smoking client. And your job is to make me want to quit smoking and realize that I'm going to have to do all the inner work myself. It's not going to be all up to you.
In that case, can we switch chairs?
Are you going to be the coach?
The guidelines.
Oh, you're going to see the guidelines, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn that on to make sure you get it close to your mouth so people can see you? Okay, now we're putting Eric on the spot a little bit here. So I'll play both the client and I'll coach him to coach me as a client as well, so you get a sense of it. You good?
I think so.
Okay, so actually the first thing you'll be looking at is, yeah, that's it. Hypnotic rapport. Quick, you start up here, hypnotic rapport.
Sure.
It's all good. Okay, so we've got a little bit of rapport. There you go, done. Thank you. Check. Values and drives. What happened was I did a little eyebrow flash, just in case you were missing it.
Okay, so
I'm hamming it up a little bit.
right, and your issue is what?
I want to stop smoking. Make me stop smoking.
Okay, so you want to stop smoking, and I'd like to know why now do you want to? What is it about stopping smoking that's really important to you?
Great. You see now we're straight into the values. Well, I don't know. It's just is healthy for me, and it costs too much money.
And it's healthy for you, and it costs too much money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Does he have my values yet? Not yet, but he's getting close.
so it costs too much money. It's unhealthy, and why now?
Okay, let me just pause you there for a second, just give you like a question there. You can go for why now, which is excellent, that's a possibility, although you can just bounce up on what I've just said. So when you're not spending money and you're healthy, what does that do for you? That's the easiest way of climbing the ladder.
Okay.
Why now, we'll give you more information and you'll get there eventually. It's going to take a little longer, that's all, right?
Okay.
So we'll just keep the simple version. May as well just bounce me
Okay,
out.
so if you could walk out of here, knowing that you've stopped and you won't start again, what would that mean to you? What would that be like?
Great, that's a great one. Well, I'd be just so much freer and I'd feel really proud of myself for having done it. Do you now have something worth playing with, right? What is your mind read of the possible drivers? Power, possibly. Independence, possibly, right? Do you see where we're going with this? Acceptance, possibly, although that's more about other people, right? Tranquility, a peace of mind thing, possibly. But these are all things you can test out in the process. We definitely have a set of values, which is feel proud of myself. That's definitely a value there. And something you can utilize. Do you see how that works? So far we're at this level here. We're going to assume we've done a good job of that now. Is that okay with you?
Okay, sure.
So let's see if we can get some objection around. You can do two things. One is you can pull objection out on purpose, like what prevents you, all right? Or, well, why haven't you stopped already? Or why have you come to me, right? That'll bring objections around. Or you can go straight to the testing area, which will bring it out. Like, so if you have a method that will make you feel respect of yourself and you can finish it and stop it and so on, would you sign up on the dotted line? Sure I would, right? Does that make sense? So choose whichever you want, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So if you found that you could feel great pride knowing that you can walk away from this habit and feel healthier and save all that money,
Sure.
you'd sign on the dotted line, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I take it you're almost sure of that.
Great. So carry on with that thought.
And so what else do you think you need to do that
Exactly.
now?
So just very simply, it's like, what is it you're missing? It seems like something's missing there, or have I misunderstood this? Well, I've tried in the past and I failed, and I just want you to do it. You're a hypnotist, just put me to sleep and make me do it. Right? Now you have an objection, don't you? Isn't that an objection?
An objection to...
It's a problem.
Okay.
Like my problem is, I don't have faith in myself because I failed in the past. And the second problem is, I want you to do it, and I don't expect to do it myself. It is a particular one for therapy in the sense that I have to take responsibility for the change or I can't do it. Make sense? So now you're on that side of the board there. Let's just work with the first one, which is the idea that I fear that I'll fail again, right? Is that a problem? So what's the first step on that? You acknowledge the problem, so go ahead and acknowledge it.
So is it so that you feel that you've failed in the past, and this is something that you'd like to make a change about?
Right. So essentially all you're doing is you're going to echo back his concern. So you've tried to quit in the past, and you failed, and you're not sure you can do it. You'd rather have someone else do it for you. Is that what you're saying? Do you see where I'm going with this? He's reflecting exactly my concern at that point, acknowledging it, and that makes me feel, okay, someone understands me now. Now I've got something that I can start reframing and so on. Does that make sense? Everyone still with us, even around the corner there somewhere? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if he throws that at me, I'm going to light up and go, yes, that's exactly it. So now his job is, my loop is basically, I can't do it and you make me do it. I can't do it, you make me do it. I can't do it, you make me do it. That's my thought loop basically. You must interrupt that somehow. Whether it's a magic moment, like the pointing game would fit perfectly here, right? Or it could be some mind-bending language, which would be some of these things here, followed by a reframe, change comes from within. This is something happened in New York when we were doing the New York seminar. I saw there's like actually, I live in Thailand a lot of times, and I actually saw a couple of Thai priests. They're all Buddhists in Thailand, of course, and they were doing the whole New York thing. And they go up to one of the hot dog vendors and say, "Make me one with everything." So they get the hot dogs. They get the hot dogs and they give them the $10. And then they're waiting there and the hot dog vendor's just ignoring them. And they turn around and say, excuse me, where's my change? And the hot dog vendor says, the change comes from within. Do we have a magic moment, folks? Yes. Is it appropriate given the problem I've just described? Right? Do you see where we're going with this? So I want you to understand there's lots of variety. Whether you want to do mind-bending language or a magic moment and so on, you have lots of choice. It's just you have to fit it into the context, the social context of the interaction. Is it making sense so far? At the end of that, really that joke was both a magic moment and the reframe was in there already, wasn't it? The change comes from within. And then he might make a little joke, say, but seriously, you realize that the change comes from within. What we'll be doing is making sure that that change gets accessed easily. In the past, you tried to make the change from without, and that's why you were without results. Now, we'll go inside and help you to get to that place where you can make the change and it will be easy. Would you like to do that? Yes. Does he now have me? Has he broken my thought loop? His job is now very easy, or relatively speaking, very easy, because most of the problems that would otherwise have to be dealt with in therapy have been taken care of before we started. Do you see how that works? And this works the same whether it's a corporate meeting, or it's a coaching session, or you're teaching someone something, or you're mentoring them, or you're selling them something, or you're getting your friends to come to the cinema. The same process fits everywhere. Is this helping you guys? Was this a useful demonstration for you guys? Yes? Thank you. Give Eric a great big hand for doing such a good job. Thank you, Eric. And please notice, I don't know, Eric, I presume you're not a hypnotherapist, is that correct?
In training.
You're in training, excellent. So please notice that your partner may well not know anything about your industry, which means they'll probably make blunders, right? If you wish to whisper in his ear and say, well, take it this route, and just to help you get more of the kind of picture that would normally develop, by all means do so. But the purpose for you is to observe, I know what he could do at this point. This is what I would do. It's a lot easier to see from the inside than from the out. Does that make sense to you guys? Everyone clear on the exercise? Right? And honestly, going back to this thing here, if you just get to the objection destroyer and you do one round, you clean up one objection, and you don't even finish the whole transaction, that's fine. That's all I care about. Because you started at the right place, you've gone through a systematic place of looking for the values in the drivers. You've tested for a conflict or an objection. When you've received one, you've managed to resolve it. At that point, it's just a question of can you do that same process enough times to take care of everything, really. Does that make sense to you guys? So I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes apiece. That's half an hour in total. Please keep track of your own time so that I don't have to come in halfway through and disturb people when they're doing things. So in half an hour, we'll be back here and we'll finish up for the day. Is this been useful so far? Right? So please keep that motivation going and really engage yourself in the process. Be a good client and spot the places in which the other person could really have made a difference for you, because that's what you will need to do with your clients, with your subjects, with your students, etc., etc. Make sense? All right, guys, off you go.